Today's show brought to you by HP. So I want to talk about a new study that came from a company called Proofpoint. They're a security firm or internet security firm. And I suppose if I was calling this episode something, I would call it Facebook Fire Sale. But it's really about the idea that 8% of companies that were surveyed, in fact, have sacked or fired people for various social media what's the word? Is the word miscreations or miscreants? I don't even know what that word means. 8% of companies that were surveyed have actually fired people over a certain social media activity. Why should you worry about that, or why should you care about that? Well, a couple reasons. One, that number has doubled from last year. Last year it was 4%. But more importantly, about 17% of companies have indicated that they have concerns or they've had certain dealings now with their employees' social media activities. So what's really happening here? Well, look, if you know me and you've heard me speak, you would know that one of my passion points is about internal communication and really about the internal customer, our employees. And I believe that there is going to be an uprising. I believe there is going to be a revolution. And the millennials and the generation that comes after the millennials are basically going to say no mas. We are not going to work for a company that invades our privacy and or firewalls us and or tells us what we can and can't do during office hours, especially in a world where really the office is a 3G wireless connection, or the office is Bryant Park, or the office is home, or the office is a Starbucks. So on top of that, you also have this incredible creative spirit now that is coming from the millennials, that's coming from the new content creators. So they want to be downloading songs, legal or illegal. They want to be posting to their Facebook wall. They want to be blogging. They want to be podcasting. They want to be updating photos to their Flickr accounts. But here's the problem. There is a big brother watching them, whether it's spying on employees, whether it's now firewalling them, saying you can do this, you can't do this, maybe you can do this. There's also the issue in this particular case on an article, if you can see over my shoulder, that appeared on Mashable, that one young employee basically, it's clueless to be sure, but basically posted on, I believe it was her wall, something about her boss being a wanker and a perv and how much she hates her job. And he responded to her saying, oh, FYI, I actually am one of your friends on Facebook, don't bother coming to work. I think it's prompting us to ask certain questions, which is, should an employee be obligated to friend her boss? Is it fair for a boss to force or coerce or put pressure on their employees to friend them back in return? Should there be a clear boundary or divide that says, you know what, you're not going to be my friend, you're my boss, you're never going to be my friend, don't try and be my friend, because that's almost as unpolitically correct as asking me my religion, as asking me my age, as asking whether my sex or whether I like it or not, etc., etc. So bottom line, this study, I think, is just the tip of the iceberg. It is going to get a lot more hairy, a lot more complex, and a lot worse before it gets better. And you, the employer, and you, the employee, you've got to think long and hard about your social media policies as they relate to your people, what's allowed, what isn't allowed, and you may even decide or choose which company you want to work for based on their culture, their philosophy, their beliefs, and their practices in terms of giving you the freedom to express yourself and not spying on you in the process. So would love to hear your thoughts. Jaffe@crayonville.com. If you work at Crayon, you're allowed to post whatever the hell you want to your wall at any given time. So there.